Ladies and gentlemen, next to speak is Mr. Prateep Basu. He's the co-founder and CEO at SatSure. It's a startup that is working on solutions to enable technology access for financing in agriculture, clean energy, and sustainable program developments. Pradeep is a seasoned space industry professional. So, Pradeep, over to you.
Thank you so much. So, very good morning to everyone. While the presentation is brought up, I'll just give a quick introduction about SatSure. SatSure is a very young startup. Was founded in 2016 by myself and a couple of other friends with the aim of providing solutions at the sustainability nexus of food, energy, water, and sustainable living. We are based out of Bangalore, Switzerland, London, and Sydney. And next slide, please. The basic premise on which we are working is how we can use data from space towards creating better decisions. Now, a very interesting point was made in the previous presentation about digital twins. So, using data from space, we are essentially making digital twins of the entire planet at that scale. So, a quick reference of who are we. We have, in our very short duration of being operational, enabled more than 2 million farm loans, enabled more than 400,000 crop insurance claim settlements to farmers, been recognized by international organizations like MIT, ADB, and even we became the first Indian company recently to be inducted into World Economic Forum's Global Innovator Community. Next slide, please. So, in the context of today's topic, which is on sustainability, global sustainability, let us focus on the climate resiliency need. So we have heard the previous speakers speak about the need for aligning with sustainable development goals, the need to act on climate change, and that's the main purpose of how technology can help you act on climate change to build more resiliency. So the resiliency means you need to have better planning, you need to have tools for adaptation, and essentially be able to protect your planet. Next slide, please. So at SatSure, what we have done, coming from a background of space technology and data science, turned the table around on the problem of data. Now, today we are in the age of big data, yet there is data all around us, but not all data is usable. So by using data from space and combining with data from the ground, whether it is sensors, drone data, publicly available data that is again clean, we have built proprietary algorithms that can make sense of this data. So imagine like a platform that's running on the cloud that's crunching data at petabyte scale and making information usable and actionable. That's what we do at SatSure, which helps in essentially executing what we call as a 3R strategy, which is reaching the right place at the right time with the right plans. Next slide, please. Next slide. So in the next few minutes, I'll be focusing on a few case studies of how data from space is being used in conjunction with AI to enable some of the services that were deemed not possible at the scale. Next slide. So we have seen the 17 different SDGs that were discussed at the beginning of this decade, and by 2030 these have to be addressed. We at SatSure are focusing on few of these SDGs, whether it is the no poverty, climate action, water, etc. Next slide. So let's start from agriculture perspective. Now, in India, almost 50% of our population is engaged in agriculture, and yet we see so many news of farmers protesting, farmer suicides. Now, not everything is related to climate, but we have to understand that the erosion of their livelihood has a lot to do with climate, whether it is natural events like floods, cyclones, untimely rains, droughts happening at a frequency that was not that is unimaginable a decade back. There is more and more need to do capacity building for farmers, and technology plays a role there. And thankfully, that's because in India you have almost 90% penetration of smartphones. That smartphone is the platform through which you can deliver so many information like contextualized farm advisories, providing them, connecting them to the markets, whether it is the financial markets, whether it is the markets where they sell their produce, information on protecting their crops against hazards, whether it is insects, pests, etc., or even making sure that if their crop is ripened and there is a chance of untimely rain, they can cut the crop and protect it. So these kind of things help in building resiliency for the farmer here. Next slide. Similarly, we have been working with also financial institutions where, just click once, where we have been generating information at a complete country level up to the farm level. So we do this once in a week, monitoring 1 million square kilometer, that is 100 million hectares, for banks to help them do the financial hedging and risk management, both across the life cycle of their loans products to the farmers, whether it is helping identify the farm risk, the credit worthiness of farmers, or in providing better strategies of managing their portfolio, expanding their portfolio across India by without having to expand their physical infrastructure. So these are some of the kind of metrics which people in the banks and insurance companies look at, whether it is areas under crop, the patterns of weather, the pattern on the yield, etc., moisture, and as of today, we are already working with banks not just in India but also outside of India in the Southeast Asian regions. Next slide, please. And it is linked with insurance as well, because if you look from an insurance perspective, it is actually the main form of financial resiliency that has to be built. In the event of crop failure, how do you make sure that the farmer gets money? That these decisions are driven by data on how much crop is damaged, assessing that, delineating it from the frauds, so as the turnaround time for insurers to settle the claims with farmers is reduced, making them more resilient in terms of planning or diversifying products, insurance products that take into account the impact of climate change. And this has already been available, and it's been mandated, by the way, in India, thankfully, as part of the crop insurance policy, which necessitates the usage of smartphones, drones, and satellites. Next. And we all know about, we have heard just, I think, 1 week back, we had a typhoon Nivar hit Tamil Nadu, and this is not a one-off case. We have cyclones, typhoons happening across the world. One of the most important aspects that space technology has brought, and I'm coming from an ISRO background, I'll recall the 1999 Odisha cyclone, which killed 10,000 people. At that time, we didn't have early warning systems. Today, when a cyclone hits, we rarely have a human casualty, and that's because of the robust early warning systems that have been built using the weather satellites and forecasting methodologies. Forecasting which involves a lot of data principles. And yeah, please go to next slide. No problem. And keep clicking. So when it comes to impact of when it comes to impact of looking at the natural disasters like floods, we have to also make sure that the damage assessment, as we can see, due to flooding, is assessed as fast as possible, and the payments to the farmers who have lost their crops are given. So this is an example from Andhra Pradesh, Srikakulam, a 2018 Titli cyclone, where we had been working with the AP government, and in a record period of 30 days time, about 100,000 farmers payouts were made by the insurance companies just basis this data. Next slide, please. And it's not just on crops, it's also, it goes beyond crops. In the next few slides, I'll just mention about all the types of physical land features that you can see from satellites, not just once, but you can see the changes in it at a very rapid rate. So for example, water bodies. Water is essential for us. Unfortunately, we have a shortage of surface water, we have a shortage of groundwater, and it is satellites which are helping to identify what are those changes, where are the ponds, how much they are, how much of them have dried up in the last 10 years. Because the good thing about satellites is that, unlike a device or a drone, you can go back in time and have a look at it, because from the last 30 years the archive data is available. So that gives a tremendous amount of data, and especially with today's computing capabilities on the cloud, we have the capability to analyze them and make sense out of it. Next slide. And same goes with forest. Conserving our forest is very important, but we need to know where to devise the intervention. That is the most important thing. Targeted interventions. When we are looking at where the forest deforestation rates are highest, which means there is a human encroachment. Identifying those places, helping the people there to develop skills that can help them to create alternate income, not just from cutting down forest. These are the kind of data sets which are today used by developmental agencies, some of these guys, and also helping them identify the forest fire risk, because forest fire is, most of the forest fires are human created. By being able to identify the frequency, the locations at which the forest fires are happening, and the patterns of the dryness, wind, etc., we are able to not only create the hazard maps at a high resolution, but also forecast where the forest fire will happen. And the same goes in the context of agriculture and crop burning, which is always an issue around Diwali every year, and people then forget. Next slide, please. So all of these insights we make available through our our platform Sparta. And Sparta, it is a semi-open data platform, meaning that you don't have to pay for a lot of these data insights, whether it is land-based insights, water-based insights, agriculture-based insights. All of these, we are keeping it open as a part of our company's values, that data is to be used for goods, and we can't do everything. So we invite people to come and explore Sparta. Last slide. So we are a small team, only about 40 people, and present in 3 continents, coming from a diverse background of remote sensing, data science, agriculture, environmental engineering, etc. And we look forward to be a contributor towards improving global sustainability. Thank you.
Pradeep, thank you so much for taking us through that wonderful presentation in terms of the capabilities and the technologies that SatSure has to offer to the human race. Of specific interest was something that you talked about in terms of how technology can actually address the challenges that nature throws at us, and more specifically in terms of how technology can affect something as simple as the very basic occupation of the human race, which is farming and agriculture. So thank you very much, Pradeep, for that.